Hello and welcome to City Skylines this afternoon. We are starting a new build of Glasgow, Montana, and this is going to be a build without any mods whatsoever. Now, it's possible once I get done with the build, I will eventually start modding it. Um, Probably not, just because I already have modded builds and the fun of City Skylines is twofold. You can have fun modding the game and making something super realistic, or you can just have fun creating a simulation. And I think for me, my biggest regret with City Skylines is that I've always modded the game so much that I don't really get that fun experience of just playing it the way the devs meant for it to be experienced. So that's what we're aiming to do here. And I have taken some time to import a height map of the Glasgow, Montana area. And then we've carved out the path of the Milk River. And I have taken some time to draw an initial street grid. Now, since we are playing this game as a true simulation, um, we're not really trying to replicate um, the layout of Glasgow's. Um, well, what should I say? We're not trying to make the game have all of the services exactly where they would be in real life. We're going to just use the street grid as a guide. Because the way Skylines works, we might need a fire station in a certain place, and if if there isn't a fire station there in real life, well, there's still going to have to be a fire station there in the game because we want the game to run well. So, not going to be super worried about that, other than I am going to be trying to be faithful to where the zones should be placed and things like that as much as I can. But I don't want to get too hung up on it to where the game stops being fun because I'm hyper focused on trying to trying to make it realistic, if you will. So anyway, we're just getting started. We're um, gonna build some water pipes, build some power lines, and we do want this as much as we can. We do want this to be a realistic build. So we're gonna definitely try. So don't get me wrong. We are definitely gonna try to make this feel like Glasgow, Montana. Um, there's a limit to how much we can do that, though, because in a game like this, without mods, you wind up with buildings that are a little bit unrealistic. For example, we'll get probably a lot of kind of high-rise sort of buildings and skyscraper sort of buildings that are just not really in keeping with what you would find in a small town like Glasgow. Um, I do want to see, how much can we be true to the spirit of a small town without reverting to mods in some way. And I think we can probably do better than we might imagine. It's just a matter of kind of figuring out, how are we going to go about doing that? All right, so we need a water treatment plant, and um, I'm gonna just see. See, I spent a bunch of money on the street grid, and so now I don't have enough money to do the things I need to do. So might have to go to the bank and get a loan here to get our game started, because roads are not free. So should have known. Should have known. Yep. Well, we're out of money, so we're gonna go to the place where we go to get money. I don't know where. Right there, I guess. Go to the loans. How do we get a loan? Can we get a loan? Or are we just in trouble? I don't know. Oh, I have to have 550 people before I can take out a loan. Shoot. I guess I'm in trouble because I only have 47. See, this is what happens. This is what happens when you play the game in a modded way for so long, you don't know what you're doing anymore. So now we have a negative income, and I don't know if there's anything that the game will do to bail you out, or if you just are totally out of luck and you're done. Well, as much as I hate to do it, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to go to the main menu. We're gonna go back and we're gonna turn on unlimited money just long enough to get the balance, just long enough to get our balance into the green. And I hate to do that. I do feel ashamed starting a new build. It's supposed to be on the level, and just a few moments into it, I'm already cheap. But that's all right. Um, Fundamentally, this is still going to be a build that is based off of unmodded game, so the mechanics will be in play. Let's see here. Oh no, I didn't. It did not work. Okay. I guess I have to go back. I gotta go back to the main menu again. Shoot. Content manager, mods. No, I got that. Okay. Okay. One nice thing about not playing with mods is the game actually loads quick. And I know I'm also doing a Anno 1800 game, but sometimes you miss another game, and Skylines has been something I've been thinking about. So, all right. Okay, there we go. There's our bank balance down into the infinity. We are good to go. So, I do believe that it will continue to keep track of where we're at. So, once we turn on limited money again, we're going to wind up with that negative balance again. All right. So, what are we going to do here? Let's just go ahead and we'll put a commercial district there. We'll put a little bit of industry over here. Oh, heck, we'll put a little bit there too. I really just want to get this show on the road and get our budget fixed. So to do that, we will have to do some rapid growth. And see, this is where the problem of games like this arises. as you're trying to get the game off the ground, you rapidly expand. And then you wind up with a situation where the only thing left to do, logically, is to continue to expand. And then you create the perception of something that feels like a metropolis. It doesn't feel like a small town because there's never a time when you have anything to do really other than just dramatically rapidly expand your grid of streets, and it's more industrial, more commercial, more residential, and then rinse and repeat, keep on going. And like see here we have, it's a small town, but we already have like this building here, this kind of a large building for a small town, if this was realistic. Okay, so there we have, it looks like we have a little bit of positive income coming in. Take a little bit of time to draw in some alleyways here. I'm gonna go through and name all of the streets so that they're actually reflecting the correct names of those streets as they would be in real life. So we can relocate the buildings, so eventually we'll probably move those windmills. They won't be there forever, but for now that's fine. Okay, so we have an income of positive $584,600. So we're gonna save the game. And go back to the main menu. We're going to turn off that cheat code. The only mods we will allow are the unlimited oil and ore and the unlimited landscaping options, because those really have nothing to do with the management of the game. And since we I don't want to run out of resources to where I can't continue to operate businesses or something like that if we start messing with the industries. So unlimited resources, ground resources seem like a pretty reasonable thing to leave turned on. Because in real life, you don't really have a situation where I mean, I guess you do, but typically, you don't have a situation where you're going to just one day realize there's no more ore in the ground, so the city has to shut down the the mines. At least that's not normally a typical part of a day in the life of a city. Though I guess it does happen. Like North Dakota has had that happen. Okay, so now we have a negative $21,000 balance from what we did. with the unlimited money option turned on. But we do have a positive income, so I think we'll be able to get that money recouped soon here. It's sort of just a cheater way to take out a loan. But we are going to pay that money back and make it right. Okay, so now if I go to the money menu, can I take out a loan? Nope, I almost can. I just have to have another 20 residents, and then I would be able to take out a loan. Look at how much traffic we have. That's ridiculous. It's wild, huh? How much traffic. People just all pouring in here, pouring into Glasgow. Look at that. All right, now we have 550 people living here. Good news indeed. It's a little hamlet. And we now have a positive bank account balance. I guess when we leveled up a little bit there, the game gave us a little bit of free money. It's got to be what it is. So we can expand our water line there. And soon we're going to need to provide some garbage service, aren't we? They want a public library, but I don't know that that's really our main priority, because our electricity generation is falling behind and our trash collection appears to be a problem as well. So where's the garbage service? Amazing how much stuff they have added to this game. I actually thought about playing this game on the winter map, but I don't really want to play it on the ice and snow map. I like the temperate map. It's just a lot easier to look at, and I kind of like it better. But so we need $4,000 to build a landfill, and now we do have the $4,000. So let us build a trash dump. And where are we going to put it? I guess we'll put it right here. Right there is where we'll put the garbage dump. And then we need another power plant, because we're in a bad situation here, generating barely enough power to make ends meet. It does seem like the power creation output of the windmills has some variation, so that's probably a little bit of our problem there. We have some people getting sick over there. Really just is not a super good time for our people here. They're not really having a good time. Got brownouts and trash is building up, and people are all sick with COVID. Life is rough, huh? Here in Glasgow. So how much more money are we going to need before we can build a windmill? 6,000. We need another $1,400. I have no idea what a simoleon, or whatever we call them, our in-game currency. I have no idea what that would be worth in real dollars. So not even going to try to figure out what that would compare to. I'll tell you, I have lived in Montana for a period of time. About 3 years I have lived in Montana, western Montana though. And Glasgow is a town which has fascinated me from a distance, but I've never actually been there. It's way up there in the northeastern part of the state. And it's just a little town of about 3,000 people that doesn't really have anything else close to it. So everybody goes to that little town and it's kind of a urban center, even though it's just a small town. And it's really kind of cool. It's built around a railroad. It's got all the amenities, but it's still a small town. And most small towns, if you're living in them, you would go to the bigger town, the bigger city that's closest. But in the case of Glasgow, it is that bigger town. There isn't anything else around. So it's one of those rare situations where it's not a small town that's basically like a suburb of a bigger city. It really is a self-contained community, and that's what makes it really incredible little town. When the railroad went through, it was specifically designed to be kind of that middle point in the middle of nowhere. So it was right in between 2 points. We just can't get enough electricity. And our people are sick. $10,000 for a medical clinic, which would cost us 400 a week. Interesting. The game wants us to, we're not going to build a school when we have people sick and no doctors. Not be That would not be the right priority to maintain. I've been thinking about some other games that I really want to play, like Transport Fever. I already actually have a save that I just got started with a while ago in Transport Fever 2, I want to say. It's an amazing game. Um, I kind of want to finish one thing at a time instead of always jumping around. But man, there are some amazing games out there. So once we get done with some of these things that I'm working on, like Anno 1800 build that I'm doing right now, we're going to play with that for a while. But eventually, I'll get to a point where I feel like I've kind of done what I need to do there, and then I'll pivot over to another game. Um, City Skylines, I have a lot of things I want to do in this game, so my focus right now is a lot more. I want to get the most value out of the games I already have started, as opposed to getting distracted with more games that I haven't even begun to really experience. But that's where playing MMOs for a while, I kind of have gotten out of the MMOs. I play Albion Online because it's just a fun game to me. I enjoy it, but it doesn't take a lot of my attention or my effort. So it winds up being a good fit just because I'm able to play other games again and focus on those as opposed to just sinking tons and tons of time into grinding up on, some other theme park games like I had been playing. Um, Not to say that the, abundance of other MMOs that I could be playing don't have their appeal, but when there's so many amazing things I just haven't had a chance to try, I want to make sure that I'm getting a bang for my buck on the time that I'm spending. So, a game like this, you sit down, you play it, and you just know you're going to have a return on your investment because when you're done playing, you can take that 40 minutes or an hour or whatever it is and look at it and say, "Hey, this is what I did with that time." And it's really cool. Other games, you sit there and you play them, and then when you're done, it's kind of like it just doesn't matter, Like you can't really say, here's what I accomplished, here's what I have, here's what I've done. Like, you can't really see that. Other than being able to say you spent some time and maybe your gear score is a little higher than it was before or something. So that sense of visual accomplishment is cool in a game like this. It's kind of like you ever had a model railroad in your garage or something, being able to say, "Hey, look at what I've accomplished." You can actually show the results. I like that. Now, real life Glasgow doesn't really have a whole lot of industrial areas. And that's going to, again, be an example of one of the things we can't really get totally right from a realism perspective. And since we do want the game to be functional, we don't want the industrial areas to all be in one area so that we have ridiculous traffic jams as people attempt to figure out how to get to work. We are turning a profit though, so that's all right. In fact, I think we can probably build out our grid just a little bit more. Now, in real life, the southern part of town here, where we're working, that's the old part of town. And then the more modern area would be this part up here. That main road there would be First Avenue, Second Avenue, and then this would be Third Avenue down here. And that's 6th Street. We haven't bought any additional plots, so we don't have room to expand too much yet. I kind of want to wait to name my roads until the grid is finished, because every time you add on to the streets, the system will make more default names. So we're just going to wait until the grid is done, and then when the grid is done, then I'll go through probably off camera and give all these streets their appropriate real life names. And this road down here would be 6th Avenue. More brownouts. I guess we should probably just build a coal power plant. soon as we can. These windmills seem like they're just not really doing it for us, are they? I got 5 windmills, and I still don't have a reasonable amount of electricity generation. They're just not doing me very well. I wonder, is there a wind map? I think there is somewhere. I can see a wind map. There we go. Do we have any wind anywhere? I don't know how it really can tell. Has something to do with the topography. We don't really have any areas that are particularly good for wind. I think it's basically just how high up is it. So we're gonna just save up, and then we're gonna build a coal power plant as soon as we can. Of course, I don't want to lose these residents either. So, see, the power plants will produce enough electricity in some cases for a minute. They'll kind of peak because they can generate up to 8 megawatts, and it looks like they're generating about 4. So they're operating at about 50% what their maximum capacity would normally be. Well, shoot, and something is wrong. Something is wrong with my river over here. I hate to say it. My river has totally dried up. A little bit of water over there. Wonder if will it come back? I don't know. I only just now noticed that my river is dry. It's not good. I guess we'll build a couple more windmills just because I need people to have power in the short term. Good. So it looks like their needs at least are met for the time being. I wonder if these abandoned houses will unabandon themselves, or if we're gonna have to bulldoze those. See, there we have it. Like, even though I built another power plant over here, still not enough power. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter how many power plants I build. It's not going to be enough. Windmills. Because I see now, they're not even generating any power. 3 megawatts over here. We'll demolish these abandoned houses. Because they didn't have any power for a while, so they all packed up and left. Okay. Well, it looks like we don't have any major problems now, so that's good. The only problem I do see is that the river is dried up, so I might have to try to figure out how to fix that one. Okay, so that is the beginning of our Glasgow, Montana build, and I'll be back after I figure out what's going on with my river and get that figured out, and we will continue to build out from here. It'll be interesting to see how this build goes. Thank you very much for watching.